Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. I want to thank you all for coming out, sharing this event with us. Today, one of the things we're going to do is dedicate this unit, which would be the 50th scattered site rental property that we've done. We're also just going to spend some time talking about the full body of work that the Urban League Development Corporation has done since its incorporation in 1981 and its first initiative in 1984. And last and certainly not least, we're going to salute and say thanks to our partners and investors in this community who have helped make this happen. I wanted to recognize Ed. I don't see him, Ed Holmes. Ed Holmes came to me back in about 1980. I started talking about educating me about housing, of providing affordable housing. And with Ed's guidance, direction, and counsel, we purchased our first 4 units up on Chestnut Street to begin a home ownership program. We were able to purchase those because we received a $5,000 contribution from the Board of Realtors. Back then, they used to have a celebratory week, and as part of that recognition, they gave us the 5K, thanks to Joe Brester. Next, we went to Kentucky Housing, our first loan, and I guess most of you all will probably remember your first loan, our first 18K loan from Kentucky Housing Corporation back in 1984. Launched from that, we went forward and built to date 159 units, most of which were sold to first-time home buyers. And during the early stages, we were training ex-inmates who were returning to this community. Trained about 150 ex-inmates, helping them get jobs in housing construction. And today I'm still running into guys who went through that program who are now making their own way based on what they learned. George, we remember one night we had a meeting over on Jefferson when we were talking about gentrification. One of the young men who came to the program said, "You don't remember me?" And I said, "No, I don't." He said, "Well, I want you to know that I came through your training program and I now own and rent 4 units in this neighborhood." That's when you know you've done something right. I was called to Paris, Vince and Ray. I was called to Paris to consult with some people about doing a housing program. And the minister walked into the room saying the same thing, that because the church was getting ready to build some units. And the minister said, "You don't remember me?" And I said, "No, I don't." He said, "Well, I was in your very first job training program when I came out of prison. Now I'm the minister who's getting ready to build these units." Wow. The partners that we salute and thank for helping us through that phase of home ownership. First, Rick McQuady and any and everybody associated with Kentucky Housing Corporation. We also were able to train these ex-inmates through money that we got through the Mayor's Training Center, working with ex-offenders, Lexington Fayette Urban County Government, the Lexington Board of Realtors, Ball Home. That's probably not a project in this community for affordable housing that Don Ball hasn't touched somewhere. But Don Ball was tremendous in helping us. When we built some of our first units, Don Ball's construction company assisted us. Moving forward to about 2006, due to the changes in the market, we made a shift from affordable to rental. That's when we started to build rental units, which brought us to where we are today, 101 units, 50 multifamily, 50 scattered, and 51 multifamily for seniors in our Russell and the project down behind the Lyric Theater, Elm Tree Lane. Partners who brought us through that phase, Kentucky Housing Corporation, Lexington Fayetteville Urban County Government through the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, Central Bank, United Way of the Bluegrass, PNC Foundation, Toyota Motor Manufacturing, LG&E, Community Trust, First State Financial, Traditional Republic, Cumberland Valley, Chase, Ball Homes, and Beacon Properties. To all of them, we say thanks and our deepest appreciation for being the wings, for the wind under our wings, as we've gone forward and done what we've done with affordable housing. I close by saying what's most important to Norman and I was that to those investors that we've given you a meaningful return on it. And to this community, you've heard the saying, the gifts that keep on giving. We hope that what we're leaving behind as units will keep giving to this community. Thank you all very much for all of the support that you've given us. Now I'm going to turn it over to Norman. Norman's going to talk to you a little bit about what he does on a day-to-day basis. My job is simple. I try to chase down the money, and then we get it to the point where you got to make it go from concept to reality, and that's when I give it to Norman and say, I will see you at closing.
Amen. He said, make it work. I am very humbled and very blessed to have been a part of this amazing journey. My part has been to be boots on the ground from inception, and I'm very proud to stand at this commemoration of our 50th affordable unit been made available to Lexington's low-income families. As I said, it's been an amazing journey, but filled with challenges that sometimes seemed insurmountable. But it's only by the grace of God that was working with us and the dedication and determination of our staff and our team to make living better for those who are in the low-income categories. Every family deserves safe and decent affordable housing. And if it is our privilege to stand here today and recognize our contribution toward that goal. In addition to PG and myself, I'm very brief. I want to, PG and myself, who managed the operation of the Development Corp from inception, I want to take a moment to acknowledge my team, my development team. That will be Tommy Lett, of Thomas Lett Architect, who has been the design wizard who developed each of our units. They're spacious, they're convenient. We all attribute that to Tommy Lett. I want to acknowledge Vince Tucker and Derek Thomas of V&D Construction, who bring the projects from ground up to the inventory, add that to the inventory of the Lexington's affordable housing. Vince and Derek, would you raise your hand and wave at the people as you're in the back there? Vince and Derek started with our job training program, and when we lost funding for the job training program, we had to make a decision. Either we shut down our affordable housing development or we convinced them to launch out into entrepreneurship, and the rest of the story is history. They did a great job. They have built each one of our units. I also wanted to give a shout out to my assistant, Tasha White, who helps me manage the properties. She does a great job. Would you raise your hand, Tasha, at the back there? And then, of course, I want to shout out to Mr. George Richardson, whose carpentry experience and experience in building and rehabbing helped us launch this nascent corporation as we began to develop properties in the East End area. Mr. George Richardson retired some years ago, and he still lives in Irving, Kentucky. We are in touch with him every once in a while. And I especially want to thank the Division of Grants and Special Programs for providing the development subsidies that make all this work possible. Before Charlie Lanter, we had Irene Gooding, Paula King, Dennis Haggard, and those who work closely with me, Theresa Reynolds, Stacy Granville, and Celia Moore. Want to give a shout out to them, let them know we appreciate them and salute them for the work that they do. We have on a daily basis been seeking out properties in the East End area or in other older neighborhoods, identifying those properties that are deteriorated or that have been sitting vacant for a while. Then we pursue them. We recently bought 3 lots on Ash Street, which will be our next project. We'll put up three duplexes over there on Ash Street. We've already got funding approved on one of the projects. In the past couple of years, we have been reaching out with and cooperating with HUD-VASH to provide decent, affordable housing to veterans returning to the Lexington community. I'm proud to state and stand here that standing next to me is one of those vets who lives, his family resides in the unit next door. Present to you Mr. J.D. Parker in just a moment. He's a Marine vet who we have housed in our units. And finally, as I come to a close, I want to tell you I appreciate you who have spent your time to come out here and celebrate with us on this 50th unit commemoration. Thank you, and God bless you all. Mr. J.D. Parker.
Hello, my name is J.D. Parker. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, as Mr. Franklin stated, and I consider it an honor to be a part of the effort to revitalize this beautiful city of ours. Many of you may not know, some of you may know, you may have traveled, but we have one of the best Department of Veterans Affairs systems here in Lexington, Kentucky. Very veterans friendly, and an individual can get help at Leestown or Cooper with minimal waiting times. Every time I've gone over there, I've not waited. So this is a really veteran friendly city. I take my hat off to Mayor Gray, as well as the city council and all of the leaders for a city like this, because if a veteran and his family, they're willing to work hard, make the necessary sacrifices, you can do well and come back and reintegrate into civilian life in this city. So I'd like to thank you all for that. I'd like to thank Mr. Franklin and everyone at the Urban League, as well as the officials, Tandy Orluck at HUD-VASH out at the VA at Leestown Road, for helping us to get into this property and putting us on the fast track to ownership, home ownership. Now we look forward to owning our own home in this beautiful city, and the programs provided by the City of Lexington, the Urban League, and HUD-VASH make that possible for veterans like myself, our families, and others. So this is a really great and wonderful opportunity. A lot of things are happening in this neighborhood. Like Mr. Franklin stated, we look forward to helping to revitalize and rebuild this area and other areas in Lexington. And if you know a vet or his family, refer them. If you have a business, hire a vet. We're hard workers. Well, we're eager to come out and do well in this community. So I thank you. I thank everyone in attendance, and I'm just so grateful. My family and I, my wife and I, we are so grateful for this opportunity. Thank you.
Well, first things first, let's give another hand to JD for that inspiring story and for his service to our country. I see Councilmember James Brown is up here, of course, and Councilmember Joe Smith is out here. I see Commissioner Chris Ford. Thank you, State Representative George Brown, for being here. And we have so many. Carla, thank you. Chairman of our Commerce Lexington today, Alan Stein, former chairman, Rufus Friday. Goodness gracious, I'm going to get in trouble because everybody out here is so important to what we are doing today. This is a real accomplishment. PG, I don't know what we'd be without the Urban League. Nobody knows. There we go. 36 years. What an inspiring accomplishment. It's big congratulations to PG, Norman Franklin, Ray Daniels, and everyone at the Urban League. If we didn't have the Urban League, we'd have 260 fewer affordable houses and apartments. The bottom line, a lot of people would be without a decent place to live, and it's just that simple. The Urban League's leadership in affordable housing and in preservation of our downtown neighborhoods has been so inspiring, so incredible. Now, affordable housing can be complicated, and all of you all know that. It requires developers, it requires banks and government to work together. Over the years, the city has been proud to be a partner in the Urban League's work, as well as working with other agencies. Charlie, I want to thank you. Austin, thank you for all the work that you all are doing today and have in the past. In 2014, the city established our Affordable Housing Fund. You're going to hear a little bit more about that from Rick McQuady. Since that fund was established, we've built or renovated 906 affordable houses or apartments. We have made progress. Malcolm, thank you for all that you have done in this area as well. The vast majority of these units are designed for households with incomes at or below 60% of the area annual median income. That's just over $31,000 for a two-person household. Now, we all know that we still have a lot of work to do in affordable housing, but we are so glad that we are working alongside the Urban League in getting this done. Thank you all. Thanks, everybody. Rick, you're up. This guy is doing a great job for us today. Rick.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. And I too just want to say, JD, you're the reason that we're all here today. I mean, it's for people like you that all of us out here work in the affordable housing industry to better lives of people like you. So, and thank you for your service as well. Thank you. I also want to congratulate PG and Norman. I worked with them back when my hair was dark. I've been working with them for over 30 years. My days at Kentucky Housing Corporation. PG's been on the board. Oh gosh, about to tear in the door. Sorry about that. But PG's was on the board of Kentucky Housing Corporation for every year that I was there. I started in 1985. And the Urban League's just been a great partner, especially for all that we've done in Lexington. And when I retired from Kentucky Housing Corporation, and after 10 months, my wife told me you better do something. I came back to work in the city of Lexington, and one of the first people I talked to were PG and Norman as to how can we make this affordable housing fund successful. Because these guys were the true pioneers in affordable housing for the city of Lexington. And they gave me great advice, and now I'm partnering with them on many deals, and as Norman just mentioned, we've actually, yesterday my board of directors approved the funding for the first duplex over on Ash Street, which Norman and the Urban League and PG, they will continue to develop affordable housing for this community. And it's very important that they are successful. And the mayor's right. I'm not sure that there'd be as much I know there wouldn't be near as much affordable housing in this community without the work of the Urban League. So thanks again, and to PG and Norman, you guys are true assets for this community. And just can't thank you enough, not only for what you've done, but for the way you've helped me and the advice you've given me over the years. Thank you so much.
Good morning. I'm 1st District Councilman James Brown, and it's an honor to be here today to congratulate the Urban League on this milestone that they have reached. I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize my predecessors, Brother Mike Wilson, Representative George Brown, and Commissioner Chris Ford for their work and service to this neighborhood and to this community. I think as our city focuses on infill and redevelopment, I think it's crucial that we strengthen the partnership that we have with the Urban League. As the 1st District and a lot of the neighborhoods in the 1st District, as well as the East End, are prime spots for redevelopment. And the Urban League is one of the organizations that makes sure that there are affordable housing for individuals that want to live in these communities. So we as a city have to make a strong commitment, and I believe that we have, to work more hand in hand with the Urban League and other organizations to make sure that that affordable housing is available. So in closing, I'd just like to thank PG for his leadership, Norman and Ray and Anissa and everybody involved with the Urban League for providing housing and opportunity to a large portion of our community. Thank you.
Good morning. I know it's hot out there, so I'm going to keep it real short. My name is Ray Daniels. I'm the board chair for the local Urban League. I just want to publicly, one more time, thank PG and Norman for their leadership. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
And, you know, I want to say for 36 years, and really more for PG and Norman, both of them affiliated with the Urban League, but for 36 years, they have kept the mission intact, right? The mission is to have clean, decent housing, affordable housing, and that's exactly what they have done. But I don't want to lose sight of why they're doing it, right? The mission of the Urban League is to put people first, and they put people first. When people have a home, when people have home ownership opportunities, that changes their outlook on life. That renews them, that restores them, that gives them energy, that gives them inertia, that makes them contribute to our community. And that's essentially what we're all about. We're about that opportunity. So I want to encourage our stakeholders to continue to do what they do for affordable housing, continue to support us, continue to donate and partner with us. And it's good to hear that the city and the feelings that Councilman just said about we need to be doing more with the Urban League, and that's great. But I also want us to consider the other things that come along with the home ownership and the other connections that we make and how we revitalize people's lives and how you can have people that have been in prison and make them into citizens that actually pay taxes and actually contribute to the community. How we can take veterans like JD here. And, you know, I heard JD talking, I'm like, wow, we need to get JD, we need to get him involved in something, right? We need to get him in the community speaking and talking as well as he does about veterans. So the complete engagement is what I want to continue to talk about and continue to have us contribute to. But I'm very thankful for the affordable housing component. That's what we're here celebrating. It is significant. It is significant. People's lives change when they own a home. It absolutely changes. And it changes for the better of our community, not for a negative impact. It's a betterment of the community. So we need to continue to think about that. So I want to thank all our stakeholders again, and once again go on record. Thank you, Mayor, for being here. Thank you for all of our representatives for being here. And thank you once again, PG Norman, for everything that you guys do.
Thank you, Ray. Now, if you all would endure us just for Tanya, Tasha, if you may bring the ribbon, endure us for just a minute. We're gonna cut a ribbon, and then we're gonna invite you all to come in and look at the unit, have some refreshments, and then tell us what you think. And that we will do plenty more. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, everybody, come on in, view the property, and have some refreshments with it. Mr. Mayor?